Now we're going to go to Caroline Nokes to talk about body image.
I have been chair of the Be Real campaign and the body confidence campaign for about the last 3 years now, I think. And what I have focused on during that time is working with media, with the advertisers and with the fashion industry to make sure that they are using more realistic sizes and shapes and colours of models in their advertising. And the thing that I've really noticed since we started the campaign is how few models from BME backgrounds there ever were in advertising, how few models you ever see with disabilities. Really rare to see one in a wheelchair or with other physical disabilities. But actually over the course of the last couple of years I think it's beginning to improve. The thing I'm really conscious of is that it's tiny steps and it's taking a very long time to make any real difference. But, and the positive bit is that when you look at things like the cover of Sports Illustrated last month, they're beginning to use slightly larger models. I'm never going to say that they're brilliant and that they're perfect, but they are beginning to accept that there's a whole range of different body shapes and sizes out there. There are huge stereotypes, and you know it's for boys as well as girls. And I always have to remind myself that for girls the stereotype is tall, very thin, long legs, and for boys I think it's almost even harder to achieve the stereotypical image of a perfect six-pack and the muscles that you see on the cover of Men's Health. And both images have real problems. We have rising incidents of eating disorders in both boys and girls, but real problems with steroid abuse in gyms and young people taking real horrible risks to try and achieve what they think is an ideal body. You know, I think the most important thing, and I always say this, and this won't go down well with your school, but we need to send young people out into the world with a lot more than just a clutch of GCSEs. You have to be taught, encouraged, helped to look the world in the face, to smile, to hold your head up and to feel confident in yourself. And you know, I think the interesting thing is that confidence can be taught. There are little tricks that all of us use, even people like me who have to go on television lots of times a week. You have to stand up in the House of Commons and speak every week without fail. You know, I still feel nervous and have anxiety about myself, but there are little tricks that you can use to make yourself feel better. And you know, the most important one I think is just a smile. Absolutely, I think there's an enormous amount more we can do. We could start by making PSHE statutory in schools, and I'm part of the Education Select Committee that is demanding that. And then as part of PSHE, I want to see compulsory lessons on body confidence, media awareness, so that young people recognise really early on that the images that they see in the media are not representative of real life. And I think there are all sorts of other areas in which we need to take more action.